Hello and welcome to Super Mario Words, a podcast where we ramble about Super Mario things and then rate them. I am Sen.
And I am Drew.
So today...
Hello, gamers.
No. Today we have chosen just an arbitrary article from the Super Mario Wiki, our aid in producing this podcast, and we have chosen Chargin Chuck.
Yes.
And we have some very hard-hitting and impactful discussion questions.
We do.
Lined up for us. Do we want to just start from the top?
Yeah, let's start from the top.
All right. So I think this is an important one. We have to get this out of the way before we can do anything out. Why are they going out into battle against this plumber dressed as footballmen?
Yeah. Okay. They clearly they seem to be under the impression that they are in fact playing a football game. They charge. Some of them throw footballs.
How deadly is a football exactly?
I mean, in Super Mario, we're pretty deadly.
It does do exactly as much damage as every other obstacle that
Getting
could
hit
harm.
by a giant anthropomorphic bullet.
Yeah, that it is. We can measure. We can measure the damage in bloop bloop bloops, of which all obstacles, almost all, do one.
Yes.
I guess there's really only two scales of damage. There's one where you lose a step of power.
Yeah.
And one where you instantly die. Like if
Yes.
you are hit by a giant crushing pillar.
Yes.
You usually just die. Which, to be fair, very true to life.
Yeah, well, yeah. Or if you fall down a hole. So,
we have to take for granted that in their universe, they have made a perfectly sensible choice of weapon.
Yes. So, football is a good weapon, but... the real question is, though, do they know they're using it as a weapon? Do they know they're not playing a football game? Are they aware and consenting members of Bowser's army?
That's an upsetting way to phrase it.
Thank you.
It's really hard to say. The wiki refers to the ones that throw baseballs.
Yes.
As confused chucks.
Yes. Implying that they think that they're baseball players instead of football players.
Which seems to imply that the other ones are not confused.
Yes.
But
which I guess would imply that they know that they're fighting against Mario?
If they intend to deploy ballistic missiles against the plumber...
Yes.
A baseball is a perfectly fine choice, I think.
I mean, it does do one bloop 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 of damage.
Yes. So I don't think I can agree that they're confused.
Yeah.
Unless the idea is that they are in fact aiming to play a sport.
Yes.
And those ones are playing the wrong one.
That's true. I mean, they are throwing those baseballs while still dressed as football men.
I feel like we need to consider the 1776 argument.
Oh, gosh.
Which is that they are playing football
in
that very moment.
Yes.
The question is, are they playing football against Mario, or is he in the way of the football?
Do they happen to be playing a football game in the middle of one of these levels? Which calls into question, bigger existential questions about the levels themselves, but...
Are the levels all football fields? Are you traversing just a number of football fields?
That's not quite the way I would have phrased it, but that is a valid way to phrase it.
On the other hand, they do attack Mario on sight.
That is true.
Now, hold on.
Yes.
I think I have something.
Yes.
In the beginning of every level,
yeah,
you start at one end.
Yeah.
And the aim is to get to the opposite end.
Right.
Which, if you're playing football, you're doing basically the same thing.
That is true. Mario is trying to get to the end zone.
Which means I think that we have to conclude that somewhere on Mario's person is the football. Not the ones who are kicking footballs. Clearly those are non-scoring balls. They're used exclusively as ballistic weapons. So,
which makes me think that the rules of football are different in the Mario universe.
17776.
Yeah.
All of the games of football have different rules.
Okay, that's fair. I think this is I'm slightly late in telling you that I've never actually read 17777.
Oh, but
6.
it's...
I know, I should. I've meant to multiple times, and then just...
You're missing so much important context for this discussion.
I know, I'm sorry.
But you just have to take my word for it. Okay. All of the games of football have different rules.
All right, well, that's fair.
So I think that is... Let's see. I'm getting distracted checking. Yeah. Where on Audacity it tells me how long we've been going for, and I did find it. Anyway.
Okay.
Not important.
Yeah.
So I think we have sufficiently answered what is the purpose of the football uniform.
Yes.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
They are playing football. I feel like the football game has probably been engineered in such a way that it opposes Mario.
Yes, like this is a Bowser rules football game.
Yes. Whether or not the Chargin Chucks care about defeating Mario or just winning the game,
yes,
I think is... maybe a distinction without a difference.
Yeah.
Clearly, their desires are to play football.
Yes.
And this is how they are able to do it.
Yes.
Another point, which I brought up before we started, yes. The football is pretty good armor.
Yes. The football uniform thingy.
Yes. Unlike standard Koopa armor.
Yeah, where you can just knock off the shell.
Not only can you just beat them up, but you can also take their shells and use them as weapons. Not something that you can do with a Chargin Chuck.
No.
I do find it distressing that Bowser's army doesn't appear to have access to any other kind of armor.
Well, I mean, some of them do. There's the Spinies.
But that's a natural shell.
Is it?
I believe so. I believe it's part of their body. On the other hand...
that's... fair.
We have seen evidence that Koopa Troopas can, in fact, just leave their shells and walk around with them.
Yeah, can Spinies actually do that, or
we've never witnessed it?
That's fair.
And I think that if we were to take them as a different species of creature,
yeah,
I think that their shells actually are attached.
That's fair.
Whereas Koopa Troopas is a little more ambiguous.
Yeah.
They can be knocked out of their shells in this game.
Yes.
In Yoshi's Island,
yeah,
they appear to be just lizards in undershirts.
Yep.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
In Super Mario World, they take on a far more distressing sort of larva.
Yeah,
form
they're
with
hunched over, and
I'm not quite sure what they were thinking a turtle is on the inside.
Yeah,
they clearly walk around on 2 feet when they are standing. They're shorter.
Yeah,
they are they appear to change shape. I don't know.
It's a little... anyway. We're getting far afield. Football field.
Yeah. So I think we've settled that question. Why don't we move on to our next discussion question? So there is the clap and chuck.
Yes.
He just kind of jumps in place and claps and gets in your way. Is this character actually a cheerleader? Because he's not visibly engaging in sports.
Yeah.
At least not until you step on his head and he gets mad at you, which, to be fair, would be most people's reactions, I think.
Yes.
So let's just... So do you think... What do you think is the idea here?
Yeah, I Clap and Chuck. On the one hand, it may be that Clap and Chuck is cheering the other Chucks on. That is perfectly valid. And maybe doing it in a Bowser Rules way that is itself violent. Which
I have another theory.
Part of the game, yes.
We need to look at another sport.
Okay.
Consider basketball.
Basketball.
When you're playing defense in basketball,
yes,
right, it is valid to jump up real high and with the tips of your fingers stop the basketball from going in the basket.
So are you saying they're trying to they're doing a tactical block on Mario?
I mean, we have to consider it. here's the thing about football. Yes. In usual football,
yes,
it's very horizontal, right?
Yes.
When you defend in football, you stay feet planted on the ground for the most part.
Yeah. You're trying to stop the player. You're not usually trying to stop the ball.
Yes.
Although if you are trying to stop the ball, it's like it's still moving from player to player.
Yeah. I think there is a SB Nation about a player who actually did try and stop the ball with his body.
Yeah.
But I don't remember how that went, so I can't like make a joke about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Perhaps that shall have to be the joke.
So that... What?
Keep going.
So the thing is, in our universe, with horizontal football,
Earth Prime,
none of the players have like a 10-foot vertical leap.
Yes.
So I think that if your aim is to play defense, against Mario,
against the Jumpman,
you jumping straight up into the air is very valid, as it's a tactic we're not going to see in our universe because you don't have to deal with players who have a 10-foot vertical leap.
Yes.
And I think that if we consider the way that football changes when Mario and his powerful legs are part of the equation,
I think we can, plumber.
I think that's not a good way of phrasing it, but
thank you.
It is. He actually has very short legs, is the thing.
That is true.
Anyway. I think
Luigi has long legs, and he has an even bigger jump. So
true. Well, the way he's drawn in this game, I believe he has like very short, stumpy legs.
But in general,
Anyway. His design did change over time.
Yeah.
But I think we can actually rule out that he's a cheerleader.
Yeah. No, he's playing some form of, actual, like being part of the football game.
Yeah, he's going for an aerial tackle.
Yes.
But I think he probably... I mean, he is in heavy football gear. He's not maneuvering much. He's just trying to kind of get in your way.
Yeah, he's some kind of defensive lineman or something.
Yeah. So I think that we have gotten an answer. Yeah. We haven't gotten there yet, but I'm hoping there will be some arguments because I feel like that's where things will get quite spirited. Yes. But I think that I have
more spirited.
I have swayed you.
Yes.
To my side of Clap and Chuck is not a cheerleader.
Although there is one more third option which I will briefly go over, which is that much like Confused Chuck, he's playing a different sport. It's some kind of track and field that involves jumping jacks.
What kind of track and field involves jumping jacks?
Bowser Rolls track and field.
Now, I feel like we've had a justification backing our previous ones.
Okay.
You've kind of worked backwards here.
I have.
Let's move on to our next discussion question. So one of the Chucks, Diggin' Chuck, he has a shovel.
He shovels.
And he digs into the ground, and he attacks you with dirt balls.
Okay.
Also fairly difficult to avoid.
Yes.
So that leads us to, I think, another important question.
Yes.
Is digging a sport?
All right. So here, I want to hear your opinion specifically so I can argue against it.
Now, this sounds a little artificial, but all right. So we have to consider the context of what we have established as canon.
As canon.
Which is that we are, as far as Chargin Chucks are concerned, in the middle of a series of football games.
Yes. Each level is basically one football game that Mario is the opposing team for.
The only... Well, no, that's not true. Sometimes Yoshi is there.
Yes, exactly.
It's a two-person...
Sometimes there are multiple Yoshis per level.
Actually, that's explicitly not allowed. If you get a Yoshi egg while you have a Yoshi, an extra life pops out.
Okay. And we're assuming that if you lose Yoshi and get another Yoshi egg, it's the same Yoshi.
We don't know that, but if one of the team members is dead, then he's not on the field.
That's
every
Yoshi, players max at once.
Every Yoshi you have sacrificed across a pit
is
dead. I just want to make that clear. He has perished
is this
because of your net. Yes, I'm calling it canon.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yes.
So, I think that... Oh, sorry, my computer needs to stay awake while we are in the middle of something.
Come on, computer. Get it together.
Get it together. Anyway, I think we have been able to justify the rules of Bowser Rules Football up to this point as things that make sense in the context of how the rules would be shaped by playing on a level of Super Mario World.
Yes.
However,
yes,
I think that given what we know about football and how it would transfer naturally to this world, I actually think that Dig and Chuck is cheating.
Is cheating at football.
Because even in Bowser Rules Football, I don't think that there's anything to justify flinging dirt at your opponent. In fact, when I phrase it that way, it sounds like dirty playing.
Yeah, there you go.
Not even as a pun, but also as a pun. It just like flinging dirt in your opponent's face is a well-known dirty tactic in any competitive sport.
Okay. All right, but here's my counter argument.
All right.
Have you ever heard of playing the field?
Like dating?
I mean, yes, but no. Like when you talk about golf. You're not playing your opponent so much as you're playing the field, you know? And what Dig and Chuck here is he's combining those two things.
So you're saying that he's making a very concerted effort to defeat the field.
Yes. No, he's he's playing against both Mario and the field at the same time.
I see. I feel like as compelling a metaphor as that is, I don't know that there are allowances in the rules for that.
I mean...
This sounds less like he is engaged in a competitive sport against the field and more that he is engaged in a personal vendetta against the field.
I mean, that's possible. It's like one of those sports anime where like somebody like lost their dad to baseball and now is really bad at the concept of baseball.
I think that
so they play baseball but they like hit the balls themselves.
Hold on. You always hit the balls themselves.
I mean, yeah, but usually you're not angry at the ball.
I think this kind of thing only happens in Phoenix Wright games.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of weird sports anime, and by seen I mean seen screen caps of on Tumblr.
Is that a thing? Like, I hate football now because I lost my dad in a football accident.
Okay, probably not exactly like that.
To be fair, you could lose your dad in a football accident.
It's true.
Football is a very violent sport.
It is.
No,
okay, you go. I'll get to that if we run out of questions.
All right. I don't think we're gonna. So the thing is, that if we're assuming that these are football themed soldiers,
yes,
there are no rules. They can throw baseballs, they can throw dirt, whatever.
Yeah,
but we know,
because it's canon.
Canonically, that's not true. Which means that they do have to follow the rules of Bowser Rules Football.
Yes.
And because of that, I feel that the shovel is definitely not a legal implement in any kind of football. I feel fairly confident in that.
You feel like including a shovel would turn it into an entirely different game.
Yes. Admittedly, there are not a lot of sports where beating someone to death with a shovel is valid. It's the only thing you could really do with a shovel in a sport.
You could make a sport out of picking up clods of dirt.
Maybe.
Like...
How would you... Would you use the dirt to score?
Yes. Like, you would use the dirt, but you would also... I feel like... maybe what Dig and Chuck is doing is digging graves for all those Yoshis that you killed.
Well, you did kill, canonically, a lot of them.
Yes.
So... It's possible. Do you think...
Possible. And, maybe he's just angry at you for killing the Yoshis.
Are you saying that actually that what you're doing is intruding upon a moment of mourning?
Yes.
And that he really just wants you to go away so that he can process the damage you've done.
Yes.
In peace.
Yes.
Which means so he's not playing football.
No, right now he has stepped away from the game of football and is attending to more personal matters.
I see.
And you've just intruded upon the scene.
But he doesn't have time to change out. I mean, it's bulky.
Yeah. He's still on the field.
He will probably get in trouble if he takes off the football armor.
Yes.
It does. He is in a battlefield. Every moment of this, he does need the protection. So they are off the field, and I don't think there are very many of them digging chucks.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I can see that. I guess it does make sense if you stomp on their heads that they do kind of stop to try and charge you, as most of them do.
I mean, if you stomped on my head during a solemn moment,
it would be like terribly rude.
Yeah, extremely rude.
Okay, I think you've convinced me.
Very good.
But his actions are still not legal.
Yes.
And I think that if the referee caught him doing this, he probably would get a penalty. However, I'm not sure there are referees in this game.
Wasn't there a Koopa referee in one of the Mario sports games?
Probably.
There's so many.
I like it when Mario is the referee.
Yeah.
I don't like how in the new Punch-Out,
the
referee is not Mario.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only thing I don't like about it.
That's fair.
It's a very good game, but that's another question.
Yes.
So I think that we can move on to what I find to be perhaps the most challenging act performed by a Chargin Chuck.
Ah, yes.
Which is he kind of gathers up energy within himself.
Yes.
And just like splits into 3 guys.
Yeah. This is referred to as Split and Chuck, although is that an official name?
I believe it's official. The only one that aren't official are, I believe, Bouncin' Chuck and Whistlin' Chuck.
That's fair.
Are not official. According to the wiki. Those names are found in the Mario Mania guide. They're very canonical.
Yeah.
Whereas in the game itself, all Chargin Chucks are merely called Chargin Chuck. I know because I was quite obsessed with the credits roll of Super Mario World, where it did tell you the names of every enemy.
Well, that's just cute.
You had a theory about this, and I think you should go ahead because I
yes, that's right.
struggle mightily with this very challenging concept.
Okay, this is another very anime thing,
mm-hmm.
where the idea is, as you get better at a thing, like you can get so good at a thing that you basically develop magic ninja powers based on it. Mm-hmm. In this case, Chargin Chuck has become so good at football, he becomes a team unto himself.
I think that's interesting. However...
Or is it at least in the... Well, you go.
I think I have to dig in my heels here and insist that splitting into 3 of yourself is cheating at football.
I mean, okay. If you split into 3 of yourself during the game, that would be cheating. But if you split before the beginning of the game into just a team that then plays football by the rules, I think that's kosher.
All right, but we have established by the time Mario comes upon this man,
yes,
they are engaged in the sport of football.
That is true.
I think okay. This would have to be something to verify.
Yes.
If there are any other Chargin Chucks in the one level where he appears, I think it's just the one. He would already have a team.
Yes.
And adding more members would be in violation of the rules.
That's fair.
If he appears alone.
Yes.
Then and only then would I allow that he is producing his team to play the sport of football with Mario.
Yeah.
So we would have to go to the game to verify whether or not this man is breaking the rules and should be exiled from football.
Yes, that's what they call it.
Yes, that is what they call it. When trying to remember the name of someone who does football, Peyton Manning.
There you go.
Didn't he actually do something? Was that him?
Oh God!
With the deflated football.
Oh, God, I don't remember if that was him. I never remember who does what.
Whoever did that, he was exiled.
Yes.
From football.
Yes.
He can never again set foot in a city with an official football team.
Under penalty of death.
Yes.
Yes.
That is how football works. It's a very, again, like I said, a very dangerous sport.
Yes.
Very dangerous. So I think that we'll have to leave that up in the air. My recollection is I believe there are multiple Chargin Chucks in that level. I think that man has a team. I don't think he has any business becoming a football team mid-game.
That's fair.
That is the line I'm drawing. Him and him alone is cheating at Bowser Rules Football.
Yes.
And I'm going to stand by that until someone can demonstrate. Again, anyone who wishes to respond to this, if you're out there, if I'm wrong, that man will be vindicated, and I will apologize profusely to Split and Chuck. Yes. But until then, I played Mario World a lot. I think that he has a team with him. I'm like looking at towards the microphone, like I will be able to lock eyes with the audience, and we don't have video.
No, it's part of your performance, just like me incessantly talking with my hands is.
Yes. So I think that I feel like we've come a long way to answering this question already, but is it okay for Chargin Chucks to do non-sport things like clapping or whistling? We have established Clapping Chuck is playing the sport of football.
Yes.
He is...
The sport of Bowser Rules Football.
Yes, Bowser Rules Football.
Yes.
Whistling Chuck...
Yes.
How
does Whistling Chuck work? I don't remember.
So, I'm taking this on the word of the wiki because I have heard this man's whistle. Yes. I can hear it in my mind's eye, which is not how eyes work. But I remember it. I do not remember if I understood how he worked at the time. So there are two places where Whistling Chuck appears. Yeah. He will, in one case, summon enemies to him. Yes. And in another case, he will wake up sleeping fish. Yes. To chase you. Yes. Rip Van Fish, which are one of the scarier enemies.
Oh. That sounds familiar.
The game, because they will wake up and chase Mario. Yeah. And I don't like that. Yes. And you are underwater, so you're not actually moving very fast. Yeah. They're not that scary as an adult, but as a child, I was very displeased to be chased by the fish, and I did not like them. No. So here's the thing. Yes. I don't think that the other enemies are football players.
That's what I was gonna ask.
So,
if he was whistling and that summoned more football players, that would be part of playing football.
That would be a play.
Yes.
That very well-known play where you whistle and all of your team members come to you.
Yes. There's got to be a sport like that.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I think falconry.
Ah, there you go.
Would be that where you whistle and the falcon comes back to you. All right. I think that's how that works.
Probably.
You can whistle.
We don't know very much about sports, is the takeaway here.
Especially falconry.
I know there are birds. They're very pretty birds.
The thing is, I don't think that whistling is in violation of the rules of the sport of football.
There's nothing in the rules that says a dog isn't allowed to whistle.
But he's a Koopa.
There's nothing in the rules that says a Koopa isn't allowed to whistle either.
Well, fair point. Now, I think we have to accept that just from a common sense standpoint, calling upon non-players to interfere with the opposite team must be allowed in Bowser Rules Football, because the whole point of Bowser Rules Football is to defeat Mario.
It's true. And levels are filled with non-football player entities.
Yes.
See, this may actually be considered part of using your home field advantage.
Yes, Bowser's army is the home field advantage.
Yes. From the perspective of a football player, Bowser's army, the rest of the army is considered part of the field.
Yes. They are the home field advantage of every field.
Yes.
Mario has no home field advantage.
No.
Except the one level that's just like 4 mystery boxes that give you stuff.
Yes.
But then there are no players.
Yeah.
Mario's home field advantage is when the other team doesn't show up to play.
Yeah. Would you consider Mario to have a home field advantage in Donkey Kong Jr.?
I don't have a lot of familiarity with Donkey Kong Jr. He's the bad guy in that one, right?
You are fighting against Mario, who has constructed these levels.
That's a trick question, because that's Mario's grandfather.
Oh, that's right. No context for that. We gotta move on now.
All right. I'm not gonna explain.
We can explain in a different episode. For now, we'll just leave it as a fun teaser.
All right. So we have gone for half an hour. We have gone through our discussion questions.
Yes.
Very fruitful for discussion.
Yes.
So I think that we do have to come down to the rating.
The rating. Oh, yes. The rating of Chargin Chuck.
Remember that
did we mention that at the VA?
Yes, I mentioned it.
You did.
Super Mario Words, where we talk about Mario things and rate them.
Yes.
So we're going to rate Chargin Chuck.
Yes.
And I think that Chargin Chuck has a storied history.
Yes.
He, being a common Super Mario World enemy, is a very respected position.
Yes.
And I think that we have managed to unlock a new perspective. We have managed to see just how much football permeates the Super Mario World universe.
Chargin Chuck is a valued part of our nation's history. Our nation being the Mushroom Kingdom.
Sure. Very big football fans there.
Yes.
Very upset with how Bowser has perverted the sport of football.
Yes.
But I do think that we do see most of these players do abide by the rules. Yes. And I think you have made a good case that Diggin' Chuck has a good reason to stop playing.
Yes.
We have decided he's not cheating.
No.
Splitting into 3 people
is maybe cheating.
We have to call...
We need context.
We have to call the ref.
Yes.
Who in this case is me.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to review the footage.
I'll have to buy you a striped shirt.
I don't think I have a striped shirt.
Okay.
We are, as we speak, sitting next to all of my clothes on the floor. So we could just look, and
you're not wearing a shirt at the moment, so...
Well, that's a little TMI.
Okay. Well, we can cut that out later.
Yes. I will definitely edit this podcast. Anyway.
Yes.
So, I feel like we can place him pretty high.
Yeah.
Mostly good following the rules conduct.
Yeah.
Employing a diverse variety of strategies.
Yes.
Working within the rules. The admittedly pretty permissive rules of Bowser Rules Football. But they get creative.
Yeah. And also honoring fallen enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly much better than Mario, who has canonically left many of his comrades to die in pits to make a slightly longer jump. Mainly. So I think like 8 or 9 out of 10 at least.
I was going to say 8.
1 point off for cheating.
Yes.
And otherwise probably a 9. I don't think I could place him as perfect.
No.
They're very workmanlike.
Yeah. No.
And I think that deserves a high but not stellar rating.
Yeah.
They don't blow me away. Like I don't.
No, that's why I said 8.
They're part of the essential character of Super Mario World, but they aren't its peaks.
No.
And we do have at least one instance of cheating.
Yes.
I think that even if splitting into 3 people was found to be allowed in this case, it just strikes me as unsportsmanlike.
Yes.
I don't...
Not gentlemanly.
Yeah. I just don't see how you could justify that.
That's fair.
he will be called to the military tribunal.
The military sports tribunal?
Yes. Which is something you have to have when you are playing both football and in an army at the same time.
Yes.
So I think we have our rating. We have had some fruitful discussion about Chargin Chuck. And I think that...
Or Chucky, as his friends call him.
No. I think that we can probably call it here.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do more of these. As I said, this is our pilot episode, mainly because we don't have any kind of schedule prepared for how we're going to do.
We just thought of this earlier.
Yep, we literally just thought of this on the spot. Maybe it shows because it's a very dumb idea, but I like it. I think this went very well. So hopefully we will see you all again another time.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and close it off.